Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're reviewing a V6 Camry. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for me some time with this car. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a 3.5 liter V6. It goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 22 around town and then 32 on the highway, with power outputs being 301 horsepower and then 267 pound-feet of torque. Now before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the distinctive lines throughout, and I really like the silver paint, it pops. Then we have the Camry signature headlight design, and look at this trim here off to the side, and you can see also in the front, all dark. And they got the Toyota logo in the center with the camera. And putting it all together, I mean, it looks pretty aggressive, but also it's a Camry. Coming on the side here, our tire wheel setup is 235, 40, 19 in the front and over in the rear. And you guys can see here with the wheels, again, they're blacked out. You got the TRD logo there in the center. I think that also looks really sharp. A little splash guard here, and then notice the TRD side skirt. And then taking a few steps back, you guys can see the full side profile of this car. It looks pretty sporty. I will say though, that white Camry over there with the two-tone black and white, I think I like that a little bit more. Here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our lock and unlock function. We got the opening for the trunk and then the Toyota logo there on the back. And popping into said trunk, you guys can see it says Camry TRD, and you got the red there on the floor mats. But yeah, spacious trunk. You also have these pull tabs to lower down the seats as well. And then when you're all done, just plop. We got this low profile spoiler, and then look at the taillight design here. You can see it says XSE down below, Camry there in the center, and then parking sensors at the bottom. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the looks with this Camry. Also, the exhaust tips on either side, pretty aggressive. Now taking a look at the door panel, soft touch here at the top and then also down below, and then you can see the red here, which contrasts very nicely to the silver on the outside. And that red theme continues onto the seats as well. They're perforated all down the center. And then legroom back here is good. We also have a little storage pocket. We got some vent action here in the back, and then headroom, pretty good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see again soft touch here, and then look at the trim that goes to the door handle, and then also down below, and then you get the red trim as well. And even the door panel is red, which is cool. Anyways, all of our window controls, mirror adjustments. The mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then here are the seats. You guys can see perforated all down the center portion. Power adjustments here on the side, and then Camry TRD again. And you see the pedals are pretty normal actually. Stability control right here, that's for the camera system. You guys can see for the trunk to open it up, gas cap release, and you got more of that red trim. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see soft touch all around, and then we got stuff like our adaptive cruise control. We got controls for center stack, volume controls, voice command controls as well, and then this does have paddle shifters here on the back for that 8-speed automatic, and then your regular stocks here on the back. And then here's the gauge cluster. Notice the red outlining, and then you do have that screen there in the center which we can use to scroll through a few different menus here to see different bits of info on systems within the Camry itself. And then in reverse, you guys can see backup camera with trajectory as it turns the steering wheel. You've got the different viewpoints. And yeah, you can tell this is Toyota's kind of like older Camry unit because although it's a 360 camera system, resolution on it's definitely questionable. Now we do have soft touch on the dash. We also have a heads-up display as well. But yeah, I like that trim. Then I like this trim all around here. Notice we've got our dual zone climate controls in that area as well. And then this is cool with that trim above the glove box. And I guess we'll pop into this quickly. And pretty good storage right there. And then we have our charging area inside here. That's what we'll call it. And this actually has a TRD shifter, which is pretty cool as well. And then we've got some cup holder action, and then we have our controls for heated and ventilated seats right there in the center. Drive mode select, which is a better look. You got Eco, Normal, Sport. You've got your auto hold as well, and then you got the parking brake behind that. And then with the center console, plenty of storage space. Got some USB action. Nice padding here on the top, by the way. I think that's pretty solid. And then up top we got our controls here for the panoramic sunroof. So here's a quick look at the window sticker here. Obviously standard equipment obviously on that side, but you got some options on this particular one. Total MSRP $41,603, and let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility here before we set off on the Camry. Here's your visibility over the hood, helping you see the heads-up display. Both mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. Throw the rest of the rear. And V6 Camry away. So just so you guys know, my original plan was to film that white one. I think the spec looks a little bit better on it, on the outside, but it's sold. So then we had to kind of make do with what we have, which is this silver one. It's still not, it's not bad. It's a pretty cool spec overall. But anyways, in terms of how this drives, the Camry's such a comfortable car. It really is super, super good. We're gonna pop into the sport mode right away actually here. But yeah, the suspension's really comfortable. The Camry has a very Lexus-like ride to it. And obviously it's kind of like the ES. Woo! That V6, man, it moves. It really does. It's not necessarily like the quickest on the planet, but I mean, for a Camry, it's pretty dang solid. And you know, the fact that it still has a V6 is really cool as well, because you know, like Honda, for example, they killed the V6 for the Accord. So you know, this is all we got now. It's got good torque too. Like, it's just a good powertrain. I love how it drives overall. And the suspension's super comfortable, even though this has the Sport Tune suspension, which technically makes it handle better. And I will say it does feel a little bit sharper with the handling. Yeah, even though this has the Sport Tune suspension and all of that, I think that, you know, overall, it's still a very comfortable car, and it's kind of like a pseudo luxury car, where it's not, doesn't have a luxury brand on the outside, but like with how comfortable these seats are, with some of the features it has, with how it drives kind of like a luxury car. This is a great like car to just daily drive. I would definitely do that with the, and that's kind of what the Camry's all been about. And then, you know, reliability. Like, again, you know, the technology's improved over time, but like there's no replacement for displacement, especially when it comes to reliability. And so this having a good old-fashioned V6 naturally aspirated, you know, it's going to last a long time. So if you're looking for, again, what I'll describe as a pseudo luxury car, right, that, you know, is going to be super reliable and, you know, has a pretty cool looking interior, this Camry XSE package definitely provides that. I don't know about all the TRD stuff in the XSE. Let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Camry. Let me know your thoughts on the V6 Camry. It'll be sad to see this thing go when it goes, because we know, you know, with Toyota turbocharging everything, it's going to eventually make its way to the Camry, just not quite yet.